What's up? I'm on Vindictus, all that good stuff. My day's going pretty good, hopefully yours is. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Contributing factors. Do you make yourself one? Or do you allow for what happens around you to control for what is the result that is around you? So many contributing factors can change how it is one perceives or for what it is they see, for the comprehension for what it is they hear or see. Wish to have a small example of what I mean? There are many contributing factors for what it is that I do. Depends on if you are watching me play the game and as it is I speak, or if it is that later after I add the music too for what it is I speak. The attitude that you yourself might be in, what background you might have as it is the circumstance you happen to be in. If it is that maybe you are a promoter, definitely different circumstance for when it is seen by a promoter. Generally speaking, I will say this. As far as that, they do not listen to any of this. Most of the time, they do not. They only see for the game and they think normal content. Far from it, my friend. Contributing factors that, even before you speak, your opportunity had happened to end. As far as that particular situation, I had one I tried to speak of and explain the situation. I said, oh yeah, I can promote you. I asked them and they could not answer me for what it is I do. How can you put your name upon something that you do not know? For what it is that you are trying to for another happen to show. Enough about that. Contributing factors have a lot to play for what it is you see and hear for what it is going on with that. Maybe the attitude you might have. Maybe for what it is today, your struggle you happen to have. Maybe the comprehension of what it is that you can understand. Or your thought process as far as where it is you stand. All most ever usually see is the game they do not actually realize for what it is in truth. Small contributing factors that are outlaying on my truth. Mainly do that for the ones that do not like to watch normal motivational type stuff as it is that within that genre you usually are required to watch. Try to entertain it in a way that is different than for what it is they do. My own niche for what it is myself, contributing factors that for what it is you see from me. But how is it that you can affect things that are contributing factors. First, you must know for what it is it is. If it is a bad one, you must know the solution to the equation for what it is. And then move swiftly and quickly, for you do not have much time. Particularly in some situations, the contributing factor is only within a short amount of time. With experience, better results happen to be for the result that it is that you wish you could see. Similar situations within your algorithm. Within your problem solving, you are doing algorithm. So have you figured out the proper algorithm? Within that outlying area, that happens to be a contributing factor in whatever it is that is within that area. Many times, if it is you choose not to engage, you miss a crucial moment, for you choose not to engage. These things contributing factors. Do you not know that you can be a contributing factor? To contribute, you must put in. Cannot be a contributor if it is that you do not contribute. So, are you one of these factors because you contribute? Are you not because you choose not to? Not very wise if it is you choose not to. Even within what it is that you may feel you do not need to do. If no one else will do it, then who else then will be you? In case you did not catch that, who else besides you will contribute for what it is that you, yourself, is able to do? If you do nothing and complain, do you contribute? Positively or negatively? Many times your attitude is why it ends up being the way that it is. Not for forces that play for what it is. If it is that you wish to engage, it is smarter if it is you carefully consider how it is you are to engage. If it is that you have a lack of self-control, when it is that you see one's act in a way that they do not look very smart, or they look foolish upon when it is they do, overreact and other things such as this, you see the proof of this. Like ones that get mad over something that is meaningless and replaceable. Was it a contributing factor that they did not realize that it was replaceable? Or was it a contributing factor that they did not know that they were the crucial factor? They could have easily changed for. It does not take much control to be one to do something that is a proof of lack of self-control. These contributing factors. Are you a victim of these contributing factors? Are you one that has control? No matter what situation or how it happens to go. Are you one that, depending upon what it is that happens, you are at the mercy of your emotions as it happens? For the ones that might have experienced this, did it get you anywhere for when it is you happen to have did this? Or is it that you did not? Contributing factors that you could have had control, believe it or not. Even within what another might do, you realize you can be a contributing factor for what it is another happens to do. Are you aware of what and how the situation could go, regardless if there are others involved or you are the only one that happens to know? Do you leave yourself a way out when it is you have to go? When it is that the situation happens to be not favorable for what it is that will happen and for what it is that you will see? Will it be as the sorrows deep when it is that one loses self-control and contributing factors is how it goes? Will it be like a war for your helms deep? Will it be that useless comments do not be contributing factors for what it is that you will see? Will it be that you guard for what it is you need to? Under the umbrella of safety that it is that you need to? Contributing factors can be a big issue if it is that you do not know properly how to deal with such issue. Must know for what the answer of that equation may be. Must know for what, if you were to act a certain way, that more than likely it will be. Must within your surroundings know for what is happening within, no matter emotion from another and from their feeling from within. To know for what might happen. Contributing factors that you must consider before you choose for what you will do and what will happen. Do you leave yourself a way out to where you are in control of the situation without a doubt? Where, no matter for what it is another happens to interject, you are the one that has the last say for what will be and can be interject. This is how it is you become the contributing factor. Ultimate control over what, no matter what will be the factor. Must know for what it can be, and for what it is that you wish to see. Otherwise, it cannot be. For you have not done the algorithm, the equation that equals the algorithm. Contributing factors is how it is you consider. Only within that answer can your proper actions be for what it is that is your answer. No matter for what it is. You must, as soon as you notice for what situation it may be, you must already know for what your actions will be, and for what it is that will be the result if another happens to act, or how it is that that situation may end up to act. But the only way to do this is to know the equation, which is the contributing factors. Within your current situation, no matter what it may be, little challenge from me. If it were to go negative, what would current be? Name 3. If it were to go positive, name 3 that it could be. Now, within those 3 answers of both sides, explain how it is that it could go for those 3 answers of both sides to make that result. Contributing factors, you must know for what it is and action for what result. Otherwise, where can you be? What is it that you will see? If you do not know the contributing factors for what it is that will and can be. So how's it that it could possibly go? Must be thinking this as the situation happens to go. In the moment when it is that the situation starts to change, as the season begins to change. From spring to fall, what is it that happens? The leaves begin to change color. A shift from a certain color. As it is, they start to change. Eventually, you see for what it is that the leaf falls upon the ground to officially show the change. Just as it is that seasons change, so does the situation and the season within it. At the exact moment, the contributing factors that have been described within that moment, that is what it is that signals the change. What it is that is the best crucial moment to ensure the proper and correct change. But only within split seconds. Just imagine the season within happening for just 1 second. No matter the situation, pay attention within your next situation within the time that you see it. You will notice changes amongst letting up or a slight variation for what it is. At that moment, if you were to act too early, it would be just like as I acted on my character a bit too early. If it were you were to be late, same situation, just late. The contributing factors, you must know for what it is that is those factors. No matter the situation. Like, say, if someone got heated and, well, revenge is what they felt they needed. If it were you were to stand in front of them, what would happen if it was you were to be in the wrong attitude and stand before them? Body language and other things such as this as well. Small example of contributing factors as well. But also, what could have been a contributing factor if it was you were to watch? What would happen if you were to stop them, as it is you happen to watch? Or trying to diffuse the situation. Distract them from that situation. Do you all of a sudden become a contributing factor? Not saying that you get within the danger factor. But if it is that you happen to distract, or know for what it is that they may act, can you counter for what it is they will do for whatever it is that is that? Can you try to change the subject for whatever it is that happens to be the heated subject? And still be within the umbrella of safety that you wish to be? Or, you never know, you could always use other means. All of a sudden, you notice the contributing factors, and you have countered for what it is that is those contributing factors. Or, say, for example, you have something that you need to work on. Do you be lazy, or do you do it? But then, when it is that you choose, what can be the result for what it is that you choose? Either A, you put it off and later you must do it in a hurry. Do it sloppily, for it is you do it in a hurry. Or you do it for when it is that you need to, and you do it the best for what it is that you are able and need to. But these factors have a lot to play. Sometimes even random for what it is that happens upon that day. Even ones that were not expected. But those still can be understood and expected. To be prepared for what it is that could happen is better than to be cut off for what it is that you do not know or can comprehend that would happen. To be ready for anything, no matter what it is that everything. But you can even do so without worry. That can be another contributing factor for your useless worry. Worrying about things that have not been seen. Within the answers of the two, within the three, these are things that are able to be. Not for the worries that are unseen. For when it is a worry that is unseen, there is no evidence for what it is that you think will be seen. Even within contributing factors. Worry about unknown and unlikely factors. Even amongst these kinds of things. Worrying about these such things are only things that stop you from contribute. How do you expect to be able to contribute if it is you do not see for what is actually there and happening at the time that is there? Your perception, you must be aware. You must know for what threat or prosperity happens to be there. In your situation, in real time. These are things, if you have the correct mind, you can be the contributing factor at that exact time. Or you can be a factor that is left behind. Worrying about what it is that you may have to do at that time. Not having within that situation and time the influence that you could have. Contributing factors for what, if you were to act, you could have. If you stand there and do nothing, you could have been a contributor to help for that something. Small example of that, so you may understand what I mean by that. Like with these teenagers and other things that they make videos of when they're beating each other up. What happens if that video does not happen and the other instead tries to stop? By diffusing the situation? Being a contributing factor in that situation? But I will also ask this. or what, at this point, encourages this? If it is that you were to see such a thing, for the video that you happen to see, what would happen if you were to report such a thing? All of a sudden, these videos that you do not like watching, for ones that have actual morals for what it is they wish to be watching, you can be a contributing factor if it is able to be seen. Is that the world you wish to have? Is that the contributing factor that you wish to have? Or is it that not what it is you wish to see? What happens if, as soon as that happens to be seen by one that does as it is I have spoken, it gets taken down for what it is I have spoken? All of a sudden, these videos will stop. For you prove with your actions you wish for them to stop. Are you the contributing factor for why they stay or for why they stop? Or for any other such things as this? No matter what it is that happens to be this. Even within what it is that is these coys and sly folly. For they already know, for it can be proven to be folly. Will it be that you will stand against ones that have every right to be ones that you stand against? For what it is that they try to deceive you? Regardless if it is you realize they deceive you. Are you a contributing factor? Or is that something that is not true about you? Within the contributing factor, that could be you. What is it that you will do? Will you be one, or will you not be you? When it is you feel you see something that is wrong, why not be a contributing factor to change it? To right from wrong? Each can do, even if you believe you cannot do. It can be still safety for what it is you need to do. If it is a situation that can be where it is that if you were to act a certain way, there would be danger for what it is that you would see. But for what would go if situation were to go bad? 3 results. 3 actions that lead to and the opposite for what it is I ask you. If it were you were to know about such situation, If you know the answer of 3 possible, and you think of that, or are aware of such things as that, would it be easier for you to avoid such things as that? You wish to know what I mean? This will explain it very easy. For when you go to school to deal with situations, no matter for what class or what field that you go in. For when a solution is needed, right? Do they not tell you for what the problem, they can tell you for what solution is needed? Do you get what it is I have just said? When people go to college and they deal with what it is that they need to do they not do tests for what it is that can happen within the situation and the solution that a certain result will happen? Contributing factor, is it not? Did you ever think of that within what it is I just explained? If you were to think like it is I have asked, what is it that you are doing that I have asked? To know the contributing factor is the most important part. And know the solution. And know what could be within that solution. How much do you pay attention to problem solving? How many times might you get frustrated for what it is you cannot figure out within your problem solving? Here is something that might help along with that. Now you will notice a pattern for what it is that I say for certain things, but this is the answer to that. For what it is that you know, name 3 things amongst that you happen to know. Name 3 things that you do not. Name 3 things that you must find out the solution to change for what it is that you know not. Now, based off of information, name 3 things that could possibly be the solution from what it is you already know from that situation. Now, the last part to that. Name 3 contributing factors within that. You have every answer that you need to know right in front of you for the answer that you need to get and for what it is you need to do and get for what it is you wish to know. Contributing factors for what it is you need to know. for what it is you need to do, for what it is you need to know, or for what it is that maybe within that area you need to grow. You can use that 3-question principle for about anything, by the way. And I learned that from someone else one day. We'll not get into that or anything else. But I will say, for if it is they watch or have paid attention, I figured it out. Of course, you're watching for what it is I have figured out. But within that umbrella of your answer, at least you know for the contributing factor that is within where it is you need to be within your answer. Of course, many contributing factors that you may not know. But these things, it is a good start for whatever it is you need to learn or grow. Or it may even allow you to have the answer that you wish to know. If it were only within those contributing factors you happen to know. Or you must change it to where it is that you are within control. By answering these questions. By knowing the answers. Are you in control? Could not know the answers if it was you were to not to be. Contributing factors that you can and are able to be for what it is that the answer happens to be. All of a sudden, you are no longer a victim of happenstance, but you are the one that is the victor within that circumstance. Because no longer are you the one that has lack of control. Now you are the one that is the contributing factor that has control. For the only way to be such as this, you must be the one that is controlled. As far as what it is that within that circumstance you must have control. But the only way to do that, you must know the answers for what it is that you need to know to be in control like that. Must know what for is possible. Must know from certain actions from another or a situation happens to shift. Which way it could possibly shift. doesn't mean that it will. But the more prepared you are for when it is that you happen to see it, more ready for the opportunity to change for what it is you see it. It's very well kind of like playing poker or other card games where you must look upon what it is the cards that you happen to have been dealt and know for what others happen to have and could be dealt. Within your situation. Is that not being in control of the contributing factors within that situation? It is always easiest to aim for the highest cards first. Because the higher card situation trumps all the lower type of situation. So if you are prepared for what it is that it could be the farthest from what it is that it might be likely you see, then when that card happened to be dealt, you have an ace in the hand for what it is that against you has been dealt. All of a sudden, instead of being in control, the circumstance, you are the one that is in control of the circumstance. Fairly easy to be contributing factor for when it is that you happen to know for what the worst could be. When it is that it is less, how much easier is it to deal with such things as this? But there is a catch-22 to this. Only within the situation is this what it is you must do. Worries for what it is that is unseen. It's not the smartest way to be. Until the situation happen to show itself, act as if it will not show itself. That is what it is that I mean. That way you are within harmony. Not within fear. And not within worry. For until you start to see those leaves start to change, there is no need to worry. For when it is they are still green, and they have not started to change color from what it is that happens to be green, then there is no need for the worry of things that you have yet to see. If it is, you understand what it is I mean. If it is, you have not seen the shift for to prove that situation is actually true. Do not even give it a moment within your mind. Not even a single moment within this time. but to be prepared for what it is. To be ready for anything. And then within that situation, know within a split second the contributing factors within that situation. And know for what equation you are solving for within that situation. Not to worry about what could happen, but within your problem solving, know for what you need to do for what it is you wish to happen. If that makes any sense. I'll put it pretty plainly, actually. What I mean by that is, do not worry for what it is that you have not seen. The shifting of that actually happening. Until it actually starts to happen and you see the signs of it. For you will. It cannot change to fall without the leaves changing color first. If it is, the leaves are still green, then why worry for the leaves are still green? The leaves must change color first. Within whatever situation, if it is you worry about things, let me ask you this. Are the leaves still green? If it is, they are. Cast out that thought and throw it far. For no need to worry about something that is not showing for what it is that is actually happening. So at that point, do yourself a favor. Be the one that is the contributing factor for what it is that is happening, if it is the leaves happen to start to change. Well, you never know. Maybe if it is, it has the proper nurturement or the proper conditions. It can turn back to what it is that green condition. If you have an issue and you do not address it, something that you, if you wish to accomplish, you must address it. No matter what it is. No, I had one person tell me that no one celebrates failure. Talking about my videos not being seen for what it is, or at the time. But here's the thing. The way that I am speaking is what it is that I am trying to be successful at. Not for what another person watches. I would rather be the best that I could possibly be than have someone, when I am not ready, to see. So, if I speak the way that I do, and I flow in the way that I happen to, if no one what if you happen to hear or see? Am I successful or am I not? Depending on the standard for what it is that is successful for me. If I am speaking above and beyond for what most could or understand, and speak in a way that I happen to speak in such a way that makes you think, gives you information for what it is that you wish to be. Now, this does not mean that I do not wish to be heard or seen, but it just means that success to me is different than it is to you that is amongst the world, for I do not have the same thoughts, for I am not amongst the world, at least in the way that I happen to think. This is more of a record for me of the personal growth that I can see. I just invite for you to see. That doesn't mean that I do not wish for you to hear it. Just means that when you are ready, you will hear it. By the time that I am able, how much more different or complex or anything else will it be that I am a contributing factor as far as that, like no one else? Or would you turn away as it is you choose to listen? Well, it seems I need to take. Is it not the right avenue for you? Great time for you to do so as well. It'd be a great time to think of. Do you understand what it is I do? Presenting questions to you. When will it be that you no longer that only and only can be answered by you? Control you. Will it be that these things, after knowing the questions, will you do what it is you need to do? Or will it be that you will be controlled by? Will you be mad because I speak in such a manner I do? By what it is you control. Thinking that I hide stuff from you. If it is an overlaying issue, or one that for another is not a very easy issue. Is that you are what some have as their view? To say with that I hide information in plain view. Why don't you become the contributing factor? Is it not the correct way that I should speak to you? Then you are at the mercy of what is. Speak to the center part of your body. The main thing that governs what happens within your body. Or do you not? Then why do you allow something to stand upon your way? Is this that I aim for? No matter upon what it is. Is it too hard? Was it worth my effort to aim for? One that strives to be, but the opposite you happen to see. Or will I say something that you do not wish to listen to me no more? Or will it be that you are one that will accept for what it is? When you have. Will you understand what it is I try to convey?
Will you understand why it is a game I choose to play?
It only takes one moment to change for what situation is in that exact moment.
Do you understand that I have
Moments
problems
like this,
just as you?
You choose by your lack of control.
Do you understand that
by
I
the
speak to
fact
myself as well as
that
I
you
speak
have
to you?
control.
There's been many times that I've said something that I'm like, oh,
It's more about the self-control.
well then.
How it is that you will act.
Looks like I have something new to work on as well then.
And for what it is that you already believe, for what it is that is that. If it is, you see a bad situation and you...
Will you get that I'm just trying to help?
Are you the one in control because you have done nothing?
Or will you turn away and not accept this help? Will you even listen past my average of 20 seconds you listen? Or is it that you judge
may be a major part to play, but with a crucial moment
when you have not fully seen the evidence for your right to judge?
What happens if it is that moment that you chose not to act? Was
That's like
a moment
doing
that
this,
count for more than what it is
being in a
was
courtroom,
done before and after.
and the jury does this. Before all evidence and the final case is shown,
Of a moment
they go back
such as this,
to their room and
contributing
decide before it
factors
is all been shown.
have nothing to do with this. For the proving of your actions is a crucial moment. Why not prove for your resilience for a crucial moment?
Worries that I have. As it is, I do what I do right in front of
how
you
hard it may be,
every time a video
these
post
things are not hard to
I
make
made
be.
for you. To try to help. Telling you. There are ones that care and
You
do
ever
help.
have a decision that mattered more than any other? That would be considered a crucial moment.
The question is,
Any other.
does it? Will you even listen?
But what happens if it is
Me telling you
that every moment is?
you have greatness within you,
You ever thought of that? For what this moment is.
and there's more to you than what another
You choose not to.
that does not wish for you to succeed sees within you.
Do yourself and everyone else around you a disservice. Okay, it might be hard.
Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So,
Just
until next time.
lift with weights. Yes, you might be tired, but guess what? As it is, you choose to still do so. It becomes easier and easier as it is you do so. Your resilience is like a muscle. So is treating the situation as a crucial moment. Contributing factors that can turn the tables in that mere moment. That's true for anything. Have you ever seen someone do something that was extraordinary? Do you think that without practice they could have done what it is that was extraordinary? Do you think that they took advantage of the crucial moments? Or did they let them slip, not knowing they were crucial moments? Every second you waste, you only have 80-some thousand per day. Do you wish for them to just go away? But what happens when it is that you are upon the last of every single day that you will ever have? Will you be happy or will you be sad? For what it is that you have not done? For what you have not tried, at least? Is it not worth the effort to at least try, at least? If you never try, then you never get the risk. If you never try, you never know what prosperity is, nor do you even understand this. In fact, you know how people happen to say, living the American dream upon this day. If it is that you are not pursuing, in truth, is that what it is you're actually doing? Or is it that you are living a half-life of what it is you could have if it was you were to try? Every moment is crucial. Do not think in that moment it is not crucial. Even within seconds, everything changes. Within just a few seconds. You ever see something go horribly wrong? Like a fluke of nature when it goes wrong? Have you ever seen that as it is that it goes right? A crucial moment. That is what I mean when it is it goes right. The very choice to do so is a crucial moment, as it is you choose to do so. If it is you allow contributing factors to be the ruler of what it is that you might do, you do not realize that even you are a contributing factor. Why not prove for what it is that you are the contributing factor? Every moment you choose not to move is a moment that you, yourself, you choose to lose. How can you expect to have it instant when it is you have not earned that? Or if it is that you have. You already understand for what it is I have said to you, for this is something not new to you. Amongst the elite, they already know such things. That is why they utilize their day and they still try the best for whatever it is amongst their things. It's the mentality that you must have. It is the mentality that the elite have that you do not. That is why they're successful and you are not. These contributing factors that may try to stop you for what it is that is those factors. Do not forget, within a moment's notice, everything can change within just a moment's notice. For every moment that you choose to lose. Why would these be things that you happen to do? If you submit, that is up to you. But if it is that you choose not to do, then humor me for a second. Why is this what it is you choose to do? Is it because you think that you are less? Do you think that prosperity and great blessings you cannot get? Do you think that you cannot, for you do not have the proper resources to do so? There are many places to find resources. Many have stipulations for these resources. Even with these contributing factors. There are things that make it easier to deal with contributing factors. Even within pursuing your dream, if you do not practice, when someone happens to see for what it is that you have done, will they say, "Oh, wow, that is impressive for what it is they have done"? Or will it be that they say, "Well, that's just as good as"? That is a contributing factor. But what happens if you are the contributing factor? To contribute means that you put in. By the way, so, if you do not have for what it is that you might need or you think you do, have you ever practiced for what it is that you are able to do? Even if you do not have fully for what it is you need. There are plenty of ways you can prove you are ready for what it is that you need. If it is you never show it, then how will the world be able to know it? There are many places and many individuals, if you were to just show for what it is you could do, they may end up helping you get the resource that is needed by you. What would be as a wise investment within what it is you wish to do? Do you consider it, your actions, an investment?
Will it be that you choose to glisten? Did I host it at the right time for you to listen?
What's up? I'm back from my little intermission.
Or would you turn away as it is you choose to listen? Is it not the right avenue for you? Do you understand what it is I do? Presenting questions to you that only and only can be answered by you.
Have started to find out for what it is that is the contributing factors.
After knowing the questions,
What is it
will you do what it is you need to do?
about those factors?
Will you be mad because I speak in such a manner I do?
Do you even need to do anything?
Thinking that I hide stuff from you.
There's no need to do anything.
Is that
Is it something
what some
might
have
do
as
with
their
it
view? Did I hide information
Is
in
it
plain
something
view?
that you need to pinpoint what it is you need to address?
Is it not the correct way that I should speak to you?
The pinpoint accuracy
Speak
must
to the
be
center part of your body.
within that contributing factor.
The main thing that governs
Must
what
feel
happens within your body.
Trying to make it to be a better one, must you be? If you're just
Is
slightly
this
off,
that I aim for?
the result you wish to get, it will be
Is it too hard?
slightly off.
Was it worth my effort
Still
to
be
aim
better
for?
what it is, though. As long as you pinpoint for what it is, though.
Or will I say something that you do not wish to listen to me no more? Will you
Let's take
understand what it
within
is I try to
consideration
convey?
Of what it is that you wish to have.
Will you understand why it is a game I choose to play?
Consideration.
Do you understand that I have problems just as you? Do you understand that I speak to myself as well as I speak to you? There's been many times that I've said something that I'm like, oh, well then. Looks like I have something new to work on as well then.
Within every situation, maybe slightly different for what needs to be considered with that pinpoint precision,
Will you get that I'm just trying to help?
depending on what it is,
Or will you turn away
not
and not
expected
accept
things.
this help?
for what it is.
Will you even listen
But even within this,
past
those
my
contributing
average
factors
of 20
can
seconds
easily
you
be
listen?
moved for what it is.
Or is it that you judge
Especially if it is. You accept it for what it is.
when you have not fully seen the evidence
and then
for
do
your right
what
to judge?
you know can solve the solution? No matter the situation, there's always
That's
a
like
solution.
doing this, being in a courtroom, and the jury does this. Before all evidence and the final case is shown, they go back
Many times you
to
must
their
search
room
for the solution.
and decide before it has all been shown.
Within that particular point, being ready for what it is you need to do at that point.
Worries that I have.
But
As
if
it
you
is,
see a
I do
situation and you
what
know
I do
for what
right
it
in
is
front
you
of
need
you
to correct it.
every time a video post
If it happens to be a bad
I
one,
made for you
then why would you
to
allow
try
it
to help,
to be a bad one?
telling you there are ones that care and do help.
To pinpoint it. To know what to
The question
do about
is,
it.
does it? Will you even listen? Me telling you you have greatness within you. And there's more to you than what another that does not wish for you to succeed sees within you. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.
not sure if I'm gonna... There we go. Let's see... There's the right direction. You have to pinpoint for what it is that you have to do within the situation. That way, if you are within a similar situation, you will know for what it is to look for. Like in that room, I was looking for switches first. Didn't know about the boxes until a little late. But figured out a little late, but I did figure it out. Within your problem solving, you don't always get a second chance amongst your problem solving. Oh, by the way, you want to hear a statistic? Did you know that people that happen to play games similar to what it is that I do have been proven to have a higher problem-solving ability than someone who does not, statistically? I'm pretty sure that opens that door, but I'm not going to mess with it quite yet. Let's see what's over here first. Or even ones that do like games such as like chess. Same thing, within they are thinking about contributing factors. To find out for what it is they wish to get with what it is they want with their factors. Makes me wonder why that plate's there. Okay, so that was just another way up. Let's see, what does that do? No idea why that's there. Within what it is that you're doing, are you solving your problem? Figuring out the contributing factors within your problem? Okay, well maybe that's another way to get somewhere else then. We'll find out, I guess. Within what it is you're doing, do you have the problem solving for what it is that you wish to accomplish for what it is you're doing? Or do you pinpoint such things as this? When it is times that you need to do such things as this? Okay, found it to the boss room. And that's the boss. What's that pinpoint accuracy? Within that contributing factor, for you to be the factor, that's what you must have, is that pinpoint accuracy. If it is that you are the one that wishes to be the contributing factor, not one that is at the mercy of a contributing factor. Even amongst your daily life, you see this. As far as what it is that happens when it is you do such things as this. No matter how that might apply. Contributing factors, they do not lie. You can easily tell one that is maybe a decoy as far as the situation. Something that you should not pay attention to in that situation. I can give a small example of within what it is of one of the games that I happen to play. If you're going against either a Mystic or a Vento on Perfect World International, if they use their summon or their pet, you pay not attention to their pet or their summon. You deal with who it is that is in control of that summon. One that is uneducated within that game would attack one that is the summon or the pet. Because they are the one that attacked first. Closest to you they get. If you deal with the one that has made the summon, or the one that has dealt with the pet, then there is no longer a summon or a pet. Within what is happening, do you know what is producing the biggest result for what is happening? that is the biggest contributor upon that. You must pinpoint for what is that. If it is, you do not. Are you in control of that situation in that spot? Evaluate the situation quickly, and then pinpoint for what it is you need to deal with first, quickly. If it is, you do not. You will be the one that is in the mercy of that situation in that spot. So, for your situation, what is the contributing factor? Can you answer the three possible controllers of that factor? If it is, you cannot. How do you expect to have a good result if these things you know not? And then it's just down to problem solving. Which one within that is the most likely? If you can neutralize for what it is that is most likely, quickly, possibly three, how much more of a better result will you see? No matter the situation that may be. Or no matter what it is that you happen to see. Can you name the biggest contributors or possible ones? Within what it is, can you pinpoint for what is the biggest amongst what is contributing to what is happening to for what is around you? No matter the situation. The more you can identify, pinpoint when it is you happen to identify, the faster and quicker you can change for the situation that you wish to get. That is the only way you can influence that change. Even within a situation that may be a decent size. What happens if you pinpoint it and cut it down to size? Even if it is, you must take it amongst little chunks. Make it simple for what it is that you might get frustrated for the bigger chunks. Faster and quicker you can do such things as this. the faster you can get the result you wish to get within what it is you see amongst this. Cannot affect a situation if you do not know the contributing factors that are leading to what it is you see within that situation. Have you pinpointed for what you might need to do within that situation? Have you not? Do you know what needs to change and for what needs not? Do you know what progress maybe you have made? Sometimes some situations take more than just a single day, depending on how it happens to go. The bigger the accuracy, the better the precision. Smarter it is, that is, the decision. Have you ever been in a situation where you do not know what to do? Contributing factors. Have you thought of these, why this happens to be? Name 3 that might be possible, and then 3 changes to these contributing factors. It could be possible. Three possible things that you could do. Three ways that for this you can possibly do. Within what it is that you are able. Do you have more knowledge for what it is you're able? If it were you were to do this. Contributing factors. You must know this. Pinpoint for what it is that is what needs to be different. 3 things for whatever that may be that you could possibly make it different. And for each possible solution, you have 3 ways possibly you could get the result of that solution. Now, you could even up it beyond that. You could go 4 or 5, 7 or 10. You could even, if you wanted, you could do 2. It doesn't have to be 3. But the lower the number, it's better if it is an odd number. For you know why? Within the 3, you have 2 chances to be right. Compared to if it is an even number, it is split 50-50. Would you rather have a closer chance or a 50-50? Makes it to where you are a contributing factor for whatever it is that happens to be that factor. Makes it much easier, too. You must also think, if the situation shows itself once, if you take and think, more than likely it will show itself more than once. In one way or another. Did you know that? Even within what another happens to experience, like one's trying to scam and other things such as this. Pay attention, they are similar for what they do with this. Same thing within your situations. More than likely, more than once will you see these situations. If you can pinpoint 3 possible solutions. If you know for what it is that is wrong for that situation the next time you see it. How much more of a chance do you have to combat with it as it is you see it? You can also do, along with all those 3, little answer for 3 things, whatever it may be. 3 possible solutions for the result you wish to see. If it is you happen to submit, well, you're the one that's responsible for the result you get. No matter what that may be. There's always contributing factors for no matter what you hear or for what you see. Even amongst what it is that goes on amongst other individuals, regardless for why they would do for what it is happens to those individuals. no matter the situation or why it might happen. Within what it is, the world current that happens, can you name 3 things that could be contributing factors for whatever it is that you see the result of those factors, no matter what it may be? Do you know why it is that things right now are the way they happen to be, as far as what it is you see? Are you a victim of the circumstance? Or are you one that takes charge and responsibility for what it is you can do within this circumstance? Or is it that you point the finger for what it is that another does, instead of paying attention for what it is that you could do? Amongst that, you can be a contributing factor for whatever it is that happens to be that. But first, you must choose to be. No matter what it is or what happens to be. There was one supervisor that once told me something that has impacted for what it is I have just said. Same one for a similar on a different video for what it is I have said. The way that it would be that he preferred to operate. If you see something, do not just tell someone, do something about it. For you are the first one that is able to do something about it. No matter if the action is small or not. As soon as you have noticed or have seen, you are now within the contributing factor. So, will it be that you will be a contributing factor? Or will it be that you will deny to be? For you are the first one that is able and not happy with what it is you see. You are the one that allows it to be. Just because you happen to see does not mean that another does. For you may not have the same perception as another does. If you can pinpoint for what it is that might be the solution, be the contributing factor. Be the one that solves for that solution. There is one other thing you could possibly do, though. But many will say the same thing as I do, though. Some might take it upon themselves. But if it is you see it, then alert to someone that has not, that may be able to be the contributing factor upon that spot. For not all are able to be such as this, but it does not mean that you cannot notice this. There are some that deal with things that are specific to what it is that may be their genre or field specific for what it is that they might do, that another they are not skilled enough or as far as their status. But to think just because you do not have status does not mean that you can be the contributing factor. That is a very, very misplaced thought. For no matter what, even for telling one that can do for what it is that needs to be and for what, makes you contributing factor for what it is that needs to change within what it is that factor. If you can pinpoint it, and you can think of one individual, there's a reason more than likely you have thought of that individual. Either A, you get courage because of the fact, or you remember the knowledge for what it is they've shown, or educated for what it is to do with that. Or it might be the one that could be more likely to deal with such factor. Especially if it is they are good with their crit factor. Or good amongst what it is that might be the problem that needs to be solved. For there's always a solution to that problem. But to be aware of what it is that is these things makes it much easier for when it is you need to address such things. For when the crit factor had been noticed, and those crucial moments happened to be noticed, contributing factors is what it is that these are. For they are the ones that, by the biggest and by the most, contribute to the situation. For they are the crit factor, and the one that turns the table, or has a crucial moment that can change the table. Contributing factors are the biggest amongst them all. So, within what is happening, what is the biggest of them all? No matter what it might be, you'd be surprised upon the information. If you knew this, you would know and see. And for what effects and other things you can make to be. For a contributing factor. it is the one that has the biggest effect, for it is a crucial factor. So before you think that you can do nothing amongst your situation, just remember, it is your choice and ability to do something. No matter if it is a crit factor kind of moment, turning the tables. For only you, within that crucial moment, can notice the contributing factors in that moment. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.